Hi, I'm Christine Doan, and we've just finished planting several thousand trees on a property that I own with a big Everyone's Environment grant that has involved community groups and groups from further afield. We have Simon Burchill from the local Kangaroo and Mammal Group. We have Karra Armstrong, who comes from Conservation Volunteers Australia and has come up from Cairns. And we've got Angela McCaffrey, who is the president of our local trees for the Evelyn and Atherton Tablelands. And we're going to throw it open to our little panel here. How is it that this kind of activity helps our entire community on the Tablelands? Not just those tree kangaroos, not just the foreign students who might come over and want to help out, not just the trees. How does it help? How does what we do help everybody?
Well, I'd just like to say that Treat has worked for a long time in collaboration with other groups on the Tablelands.
Over 30 years.
Over 30 years, that's right. And we have a great relationship with Tablelands Regional Council and their revegetation unit, with Kangaroo and Mammal Group and with CVA, also with School for Field Studies and many other conservation groups on the working on the Tablelands. And it's that community spirit that everybody gets together, and we get the trees in the ground and we get the barbecue afterwards, and there's just such a lot of goodwill going around along with the trees going in the ground, which of course is really the main point of the exercise. But there is just so much extra that happens around these events. Everybody picks up a bit of information, and there's always lots of conversations going around, and just such a lot of views exchanging, and it's just a wonderful occasion. And we thank Christine for enabling all this to happen.
Well, of course, my contribution mostly is behind a computer, on the telephone, trying to get the money, trying to put the organization together these days. But what's interesting is everybody needs to make a contribution. So my contribution used to be putting the shovel in and putting the trees in. Now it's a different contribution, and I work on the political level as well, which I know that all of you do. But sometimes we do forget. We come to these planting days, we're really focused on tree roos. We forget that that other level has to be happening for these to have their biggest impact.
Yeah.
But Simon, you'll want to tell us about how this impacts somebody who hasn't got a voice of his own, and that's the tree kangaroo and the other mammals that live in the rainforest.
I guess from Kangaroo and Mammal Group's point of view, partly this is awareness raising awareness of what species are out there, raising awareness of the importance of corridors, so every little bit helps with connectivity or expanding area in some cases, but a lot of people are working on corridors, so that's great to see. And so gradually we're hoping that we'll have a fairly well connected tablelands, and of course part of the problem is the roads, so it's still something we're behind, well, certain countries, most of Europe, in providing the permeable landscape for the wildlife to cross. And so one of our things politically, well, there's many things politically we're trying to do, but one of the things is getting the wildlife underpasses, overpasses, getting the roads so that they're permeable, so the wildlife can cross and move around. And it's a long job, no denying that, and it'll take quite a bit of money and time and all the rest of the usual resources to get it happening. But that's one of the things we're looking at doing. Kangaroo and Mammal Group is recently, still in the final bits of actually getting it printed, but recently produced our community action plan to look at what we can do to really, on all different levels, increase our knowledge of the species, because there's still, well, we still haven't got a population number on the tree kangaroos. On the stuff on the ABC last night, there's not a population number for cassowaries either.
No.
And this is where they pulled 1,000 out of, I don't know, but
They made it up!
yeah, well,
It's an educated guess. But Simon, I think one of the things that you're pointing to is that we don't have enough research.
no, we don't have enough research.
One of the things that is in that fabulous plan that you put together, and I have read the draft, it is a fabulous plan, and it includes all of those areas. And I think that, Karra, your Conservation Volunteers Australia fit in some of the wonderful research, some of the human resources, and some of the outreach education that helps us get these objectives accomplished.
Well, with Conservation Volunteers Australia, basically we're hands-on land conservation. So, as Simon just pointed out earlier, it's all about connectivity. And we've been helping and assisting a lot of practical corridors, putting corridors in for these particular reasons in the tree kangaroo area. So we're very proud to be here supporting once again today and look forward to next week.
Fabulous. And of course, all of us here are very thankful that we have so many groups that want to collaborate for a bigger vision, which starts with putting that spade in the ground. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Christine.